Hey everyone, so today we're going to be building this New York Times uh, newspaper website. We're going to be specifically building this section up here, which is just like going to have some navigation points like this with the search button and these call to actions. We're going to have this section over here. We're going to have these little buttons at the bottom. And then if we go here, we're going to add this type of hero section where you have this first stack and the second stack all connected to a CMS in Framer. So let's get started. I already started building it in Framer, and basically, like I said, there's 3 stacks under one main stack here. So stack 1, stack 2, stack 3, and this screenshot is basically one stack that contains everything, all these 3. And then at the bottom we have stack 1 and stack 2. Stack 1 has 1, 2, 3 stacks inside, and stack 2 has 1, 2, 3, 4 stacks inside. And I already started building it, so we have stack 1, basically the top bar like this, and underneath we're going to have the left, medium, and right. And I am basically building this top version right now. So we have this left with the icon underneath, and we have the medium and the right. So right now I'm just trying to build these little these buttons. So what I'm going to do is I'm just selecting all of these texts, adding a stack to them like this, and I am basically gonna make everything fit, and then give everything a little bit of a padding, like so. And then what we want to do is we want to move these into this nav points stack. So we can just do this. That's inside the nav points, so right, like just like that, perfect. And we want to hug this nav points stack around these text stacks so that we don't have any space between right now, because it's filled right now based on the other sizes of the other stacks. So basically these 2 are the same size, and then this one is small because this one is fitted into this icon. I know it sounds very technical, but just bear with me here. Try to keep on watching these types of videos and you'll eventually understand how I build, and try to build this together with me. So we got this navigation, so let's make the width fit the content. So we have it like this, and let's make this main one fit the content as well. All right, so we have the medium. We want to also make these fill. So we fills the top bar that is fixed. All right, and let's do that to everyone. All right, and then we have this right one where we're going to add these buttons. So we can use the same type of stack. Same type of stack, yeah. So we can just do this, fit content, fit content. This is also the way to create a button as well. Just letting you know. So subscribe for $1 a week. Subscribe for $1 a week. And let's add a style to this text that would be transform. And let's transform it to uppercase. And let's make it, because here it seems like it's a little bit thick, the font. We want to also make this white, and we want to make this stack have this blue color. And it has this blue color, and it also has this like little outline, as you can see. So what we can do with this outline is we can first, let's create this radius, and then we can create the border, and the border can be 1 pixel, but very, very light, or maybe 2 pixels would be good. So now you can see that there's like a little border. So we have that. I also see that there's a little bit more padding on the left and right, so we can just adjust that really quick. So right, we can go like, yeah, like this looks good. And we want to add this, over here. Exactly right here. This call to action. So we have button 1. So let's just call it B1, and let's duplicate it, and let's call this B2. And in B2 we have the log in. And then we want everything to hug the two buttons. So we're going to go fit content. Oh, sorry. Height would be fill. This would be fit content. And this again would be fit content. And then as you can see, this top bar, we have the left, medium, right, and they're all coming together in the middle, but that's not the case here. They're going, they're distributed with a space between. And this is kind of the classical way of building a navbar, right? Obviously not responsive, but with a nice design and the potential to have responsiveness. We want to add some more padding because it looks like it has more padding. We can do that. We can remove the fill from everything. So we have all of these different paddings, all of these different stacks have these fills. Let's just remove all of the fills so that everything is transparent. And we have this one as well. Boom. Right. We also, if we go back here and we go back up here, as you hover over these things, you can see that they have like this hover effect, right? You can really see it. You see, it has like this gray hover effect. So we can do something like that. We can make it like that, and the way to do that is we go back to Framer, and we select just one of these stacks, and we right click and we create components. So navigation point, create, and let's go back here and see. So it's a little bit round in the edges and the radius. So let's go back to Framer and do that. We add a little bit of a roundness to the radius, about like this, and then we set a hover effect. So when it's hovered, the fill would be a little bit darker, like that. And then for this, we can just, and then what we can do is we can go back here and we can create a variable for this content, and we would have to basically just remove these and write them again. So this would be international, Canada, and this one would be, let's just write Germany. So if we were to press play, you can already see that it's looking good like this. Okay. Right. It's looking nice, everything. We want to also change the color of this to make it a little bit more black. A little bit more gray like this might be nice. And now let's build the second one. So the second one is also going to be a very similar style stack to this top bar. So we can just duplicate this and bring this to the bottom. And this would also be left, this would be medium, this would be right, but it would also obviously be a different type of content. So the left, we would have not an icon, but we can write today's paper, right? To status. We can write status, and we can delete this. And under status, we can bring. I don't know if these are also going to have. Okay, it's just going to be like a text. So let's go back here. Under status, we want to write today's date, and we can make this black and regular, and bring this in here to the status, and then duplicate it. And then status would fit the content. That's great, but it needs to be like this, right? And this will be today's paper. So today's paper. And as you can see, this is already aligning to the middle. We want to make it like a left align. And here we want to put today's date. So Tuesday, November 5th. November 5, 2024. Perfect. I think this font is a little bit smaller. So let me just kind of double check to see the font size, if I may. So if I go like this, I can just hover. It says 14 pixels, right? So 14 pixels, as you can see right here, 14 pixels Arial. They have their own font. Of course they do. So 14 pixels, let's just convert everything to 14 pixels. Let's just go back into here, make this 14, maybe we can even make it 12. And we can make this also 12. And we can make these buttons also 12. So it looks a little bit better, okay. Right, so we got this left one. We can eventually like do like a type of, let's see if it's here. I know that we can like fetch some content. Like we can get like today's date, for example. And I don't know how to do it right now, but I know that it's possible that we can add like a fetch API that gets today's date and can automatically bring it here. I just don't know how we can do it right now, but that's something that we can do in another video if you guys are interested. Anyways, we want to replace these, we want to move these things away, and we want to add an image. And we want this image to be the New York Times logo. So we can just do it like this, and we can bring this image in here. This is going to be with a fixed height, and we want to fill this. We want to basically make it fill, and we want to make this fill as well. And we want to make this fill, oops, and fill. And I think that for this, we can also add some type of gap between everything, if it's possible. But let's just do this for now, because, so left, medium, top bar. This would be medium bar. And see how I can do this. Radius, overflow, fill, cursor, overlay, effects, transform. So let me see what transform is now. Padding. Okay, it doesn't matter for now, but it will matter soon. So let's just finish this. We got this. We can go New York Times logo. Let's just refresh this to see how the election is going. There's still no major update because I'm basically building this website while following the elections. So I can go like this. I bring it to Figma. It's a nice PNG. Export the PNG. I'm gonna write New York Times logo. And then I'm going to go back to Framer, image, New York Times logo. There you go. And we want it to fit. Looks good for now. Right? And then in the right side, we have this NASDAQ. So we can basically build something like this. We can delete this and we can duplicate this and put this in the very right and call this right because it's also a text. and it's gonna be a text only at the top, so this bottom part is missing. So we can call it like NASDAQ. We can go status 2, and we can make this, you know, invisible somehow, and we can call this NASDAQ plus 100%. I don't know. What does it say here? Plus 1.43%. And then we can select this text and add a different color to it, which is nice. You can just do like that. Perfect. I can see here that the border, like the radius is a little bit too thick. The border, I mean, is a little bit too thick, so we can go like that. And now we have this New York Times thing looking nice. Only thing is that this is kind of looking weird, but let's just finish that at the very, very end. All right. Okay. We have this now. We have this section here, which is going to be one stack with a bunch of different links. And we're not going to make these drop downs. We're just going to use these types of links. I'm just trying to, you know, give you a brief tutorial on how to build a type of page like this. So we want to delete this one. We want to delete the right one and the left one. And this medium one, we want to actually make this center. And we want to have a few more. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's just put 10. So we have 4 now. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12. That's fine. Nav points, we can add a border, a bottom border. So let's just put 0 everywhere except for the bottom. And something like this. If we want to put a second border, we can do so by adding another stack that would basically fit the content. And height would also fit the content. And then this would have an extra border at the bottom. So 0, 0. And maybe a padding at the bottom from 5. Yeah. And then this medium would have a fit, height would be fit. Bottom bar. Fit, fill. No. Fit content. There we go. Outer outline. And let's make the padding a little bit less. Yeah, something like that looks good. So yeah, this looks really nice for now. Obviously, this still bothers me that it's not perfectly aligned. Maybe we have to make this a fill width. No? Put this at the end? No. So something is off here. Just going on. Something is off here. We can obviously make these both fill. No, that's not the solution either. There's something off here that needs to be fixed. Maybe we have to make a fixed. Let's just. Well, let me still think about it. I don't know yet what the problem is, but something to think about. All right, now we want to do this. So this top section is done. Let's fit this all into one stack that is called top section. Top section is going to have a fit and fill, and we're going to have now the bottom section. So the bottom section is basically going to be another frame from left to right. Bring in this frame, go like that, and now we have, let's make sure that it's outside of this top section. And now let's add a layout. So now it's another stack. We're going to call this top bar. So it's basically going to be this top content. And now, well, before we add the content, we have to add a CMS because we're going to connect CMS to this. But before we do that, let's just finish the layout really quick. And so we're going to have this left stack and this right stack. So if we go back here, and let me close this, and we refresh, no, nothing. So we see here, we have this that goes to two different top content, and we have this image gallery that is not connected to any content. So these are two content pieces of themselves, and these are just, this is just a gallery with left and right, and these are another two pieces. And then these are different pieces with an image. And it has also this thing, this carousel, not ticker, it's like a carousel thing. So, all right, let's build this. So we need one stack that we already built, and then one stack, two stack, three stack. Okay. So let's duplicate this. Let's bring this here. Let's call this left column. Let's call this one middle column, and let's call this one right column. Okay. All right. For this left column, oh, you see how everything is kind of oddly fit. So let's do that. Let's fill this for now, and let's make this fixed for now. Let's actually make sure that everything here isn't fixed, it's fit content. And here as well. So let's close this, and then we have this top content with the three different columns, right? This first column is going to be from, so we have this section here now, and we want to add in a CMS collection. So we have to think of that. So before I add the blog or the CMS collection, let's think of the things that we need. We need an image for everything. We need a title, we need the description, and we need the estimated read time, right? So that's something that we have everywhere. And maybe we can add a genre, right? So let me write that down. We need a, let me write that down here visually. So we need a, oh, this is small. We need a genre. We need a title, description, and estimated read time. Okay, so maybe let's put the genre after. Oh, we need, sorry. Before we write genre, we have to put the image. So image, genre, title, description, estimated read time. Beautiful. Let me get something to drink. All right. So we can do that. And let's create like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like around 12 content pieces. We need this here, which is not related to anything. It's just a carousel of images. And this image, we can create a component. I don't know. Let's see how we do it. Okay, so on the left side, we have this. So let's add a blog and let's create some articles. And we create the different categories. The categories will be called politics, sports, weather, or economy. We can call the last one business. So instead of getting started, we can call it when to expect results. So we can just think of a random thing, how to understand US election results. And we can call this one politics. And then instead of this green thing, we can choose with unsplash and we can put politics. And we can choose some nice, this one. So we have this image, we have politics, and let's edit the fields. Like we said, we needed an image on the top. Slug, obviously, this is important for the, the links. And we need a genre, description, estimated reading time. So genre is categories, description. So we need a plain text, description, short description. I would call it short description. And I don't want to use this date like this. Let's remove it. And we can just add something called like test read time and put that like this. So now we have it here. So short description, we can just write some random text. So the best type of short description about understanding the complexity behind American elections and political ways. I don't know. All right, estimated reading time, 5 minutes. How do they make it here? 5 min read. So we can do the same thing. We can go 5 min read, and let's leave it like this. We can style it to be uppercase. So, and we can call this U.S. elections understanding U.S. elections. And then here, this doesn't really matter for now. We don't really care about this content. So we want to let's delete these. Okay, so I built all of these different things. I think at the end they were like 9. Yeah, 9. I think it should be enough. I also added this technology category, replaced it with business. Replaced the business one with technology. So I replaced the technology one with business. So now we have this. Now we just want to populate this. So we have this blog. I want to delete this for now. And I want to add in a collection from certain articles. And let's put it in here. And let's fill the contents. And let's basically just show. Let's add a filter. We want to add articles, yeah. Let's add a filter. Choose categories and set to contain technology, sports, economy. Okay, let's write this one. Okay, so now we have this filter because we have two here. We don't want to show all of them, right? So we added a filter. Now, once we have this filter, we want to, so my chair is a little bit broken. I'm afraid it's going to break even more. So we want to just style it like this. And we have three pieces of text and no image. So we can delete this image, right? The image is gone. And we have text 1, text 2, text 3. This all has to basically fit somehow like this. This text will not be the title, it will be the description, and it will be here. Let's go back. It would not be this, it would be set variable to short description. So we want to remove this style. We want to just add this short font. We want to add the width to fill. We want to make this articles have a height that fits the content, and this also that fits the content, and this also that fits the content. Perfect. So we have this middle one, description, and then this is going to be the est time. And remember, we went for the estimated time. Let's remove this. Let's make it 12, and let's add that style, this transform, to make it uppercase. And we want everything here to be left aligned. And the estimated, this wouldn't be this, it would be estimated read time. Perfect. Look at that. It's already looking really nice. But we want to use this type of font. So we can search for a, let's actually delete this body thing and let's make it 16. Let's leave it like that. But let's make it black. And let's make this a type of font that is a serif. So we can choose a type of serif that we like. Young serif. This one is looking good. It's a young serif, right? It's like a little bit playful. And we have the left column done. And so for the top content, we have a padding for the top bar, for the medium bar. So we want to add a padding also for this one. We can actually remove the padding from all of this. 0, 0, 0. So this one should not have any padding, and this one should also have no padding. And there's padding here. So I want to actually add the padding to this top content. And we want to add the padding to be 60, 60. Actually, no, I'm wrong. We want to make this padding 60. Nice. And we want to add some let me do something really quick. Okay, let's make these. Let's make this font bold somehow, semi-bold, and I think it has to be a little bit smaller, maybe 14 pixels. I see that this is a little bit we can put 20, and I'm still kind of trying to see how we do this. I think it should be like this. And on the right, we want to add the padding. Perfect. All right, so we have it like this. We have the description with this. This article is fitting the text. Perfect. Width is going to be fit content. And this can be a line start. And then with this, we want to replace this So we want to add a frame inside. So let's just do that. Let's add this frame in here. And this is going to be a fill. So the question is, do we add this frame? We need to add a type of media. Forms? No. Icons? No. Interactive. Would it be a carousel or a slideshow? I always get confused. So let's get this thing. We don't really need it. Let's just go like this. Okay, and we can put the slideshow. And where can the arrows go? Show, yes. Inset. Okay. Bottom middle. We can do it like this. And then we can make this size much smaller. We can make it higher. Again, the size a little bit smaller. We can make the fill white. Oh, fill white 100%. And the let's just do it like this for now. Let's remove the fill. Let's make it grayer for now, because they have these default ones. We can add the dots as well. Backdrop. I don't see where the dots are. Oh, I think we get the dots once we have multiple ones. Okay. So the dots would have to also go no backdrop, because I don't see any. And we make it smaller, the size. What is this? See, okay, this is the inset. So let's put it also 30, like these guys here. Maybe even 35. And let's make the gap shorter, like 5. And then let's see the dots. Okay, just playing around. It looks pretty cool. Let's delete this. Let's put the slideshow like this here. Let's make it fill the width and fill the height. Let's make this fit content. Let's make the height something like this. Okay, we'd have to leave it like this. And then let's add some images. So let me just add some images here. Let me pause. So I replaced some of these images, and as you can see, it looks like this. So let's just link this third one. Boom. And now we have 3 images. So if we press play, it would look something like this. Wow, look how amazing it's looking like, guys. This is amazing. So we can here put 2 other, we can filter it. One here with the genre and with just the title and with the minutes read, and another one with the image. And it can be left, right. So let's do that. So we have the right one, and then we have, for example, this article thing. We can duplicate it and bring it here. And we want to add this to a stack. And then we want to duplicate this stack, and we want to make this vertical. We want to make the stack fit the content, fill maybe. So let's see, let me first try to do this. Let me filter out, filter all, choose categories. Let's filter by category, or not by category, by title. Contains, and there was something about Miami. I think it's just one. Yeah, okay. And this stack, this right column has to fit the content. Perfect, there we go. That's the Miami Dolphins thing. And we want this to have a fill height. Let's see, like that. Perfect, fill height. And what about this? This should be, height should be fill. And the content should be put on the top. And then we should, this is fine. And this width should probably be fit. Perfect. And now we got it like this. Now we want this design to be different. What did we have? We had genre, title, minutes read. So we can delete this one, and we can just duplicate this one and put it here. And then it will be without this uppercase. So inherit, and we would remove this and pick the category title. So sports, perfect. Let's actually reduce the gap between everything to about 6 pixels. So 6. Okay. Let's put it at the start. And the reason why I'm doing this is just to see everything a little bit more. You can add some more gap like this. And then this one we want to put in the start as well. And this one will include an image. So it's going to be interesting to add an image here. So we want to go here and search image. And place it somewhere here. And now we want to put this in a stack. And this in a stack. And this stack will be going like this. And the height. So I'm trying to understand what is going on here. Width would be fit content. Go like this. So it's kind of looking weird here. Its final text should be fill. Actually, no, it should be this one. Yeah, this is the problem. There we go. And then how would this look like? There's only one post, right? We can add 2, it doesn't matter. The stack would be nice if it's all set to the top. We can add some padding in the bottom to about 20, so there's some, or 60. And for this we can add some nice little radius. And the fill would be set variable to image. So we have 2 nice little images here. Perfect. Let's maybe increase the gap of the space here. 30, and maybe do the same thing here. And then somehow let's make this larger. Or maybe we can decrease the gap. Or we increase it, it's okay. Okay, so we have this first style right here. And now we want to do the bottom part. So we have the top content. And now we want to basically build in another frame and do it kind of the same width and put it in the bottom. And we want to add a layout, so it's a stack. And in this stack, there's going to be more stacks. So there's going to be 4 stacks. Actually, we want to, there's going to be a stack with a collection. Here. We bring in the collection here. And then this is going to be like this. And we want it to be fill width and fill height for now. And we want it to be like this. And we want it to be not fit content, sorry. Fill. Now we just see that we have this problem here. Actually, we want to see if we can add this thing like this. Maybe it's gonna, because I really don't know how to do it now, but I'm just trying to think how we can do it. We can add a type of slideshow or carousel. No, because this is with images. This is also with images. Maybe we can do something else. We can move this. We can move this here, and we can bring this carousel in here. We can make the fill, and it somehow goes to this. Oh, cool. Okay. So here we have to make sure that this fits in perfectly. And that's our next issue. So we want this, and we want it to be kind of like it is now. The image would be obviously a little bit bigger. So the image would fill the height. Oops. No, it wouldn't. It would have a fixed height. Just put it 120 for now. And I want to add a stack and a stack. And we want to make sure everything fits in the stack. Perfect. So this is going to be the title, and this is going to be the minute read, okay? So this is going to be the title, and this is going to be the minute read. So it's the read time, and let's make it like this, and let's remove this thing. Let's make this 14, and with that font that we had before, the DM, or no, serif, playful thing, young serif. Let's make it black. And let's make it 14, and this is going to be 12 pixels. Enter. And we'll have this nice transform that it is uppercase. Beautiful. So I wanted to start. No autoplay. Yes, trackable, why not? Current. So effects, align, direction, content, articles, yeah. Effects, align, gap. That doesn't work. The gap, this has to be adjusted here. We can make this, can make this stack have a fixed width, and everything inside has to fill this fixed width. Okay, now it's looking much more like it, right? I see that it's also not with a radius, so let's just do it like that. Me too. Okay. All right. So I just published the page and we have a problem. It's all looking very nice here. We actually have to add a max width, but here it doesn't look so good, right? So I don't know what the problem is right now, but we'll fix it. So let's go back here. Let's first add a maximum width to this top section. So let's do that. Max width fixed 1200. And let's publish that and refresh. So now it stays at this max width, so that's nice. Only thing now is this thing at the bottom. I don't know what the problem is. There's something going on here. Maybe Framer can't handle this. I'm pretty sure that they can, but something is off. And maybe if we put this autoplay thing, it'll work. I don't know. No. There's something weird. This looks really cool though. But let's go back to Framer and let's see what the problem is. So if I were to put this underneath or maybe on top and make this fill. Actually, before I do that, let me just duplicate it and not do it like that. Let me see how that looks like. So this looks much better. So I guess there's some type of bug going on here. Maybe it's this font thing that has a fixed width. Maybe we should just add fit content. Let's see. Or not fit content, but fill. Fill. Oh, God. Fill. This tag should be not fill, but okay, so I always get confused with all of this fit content stuff. Sometimes maybe it was that. No. Let's remove this autoplay thing because it's kind of annoying me, but what is going on? Maybe you guys know what the problem is. I'm going to cut this video short from now on, but maybe you guys know what the problem is. I'm going to leave this here so you guys can check it out for yourself. But basically, we're kind of done here. We have a really nice little template of the New York Times. So if we publish this, I update this, and I go here and I refresh. Not really nice anymore. Hold on. it's looking nice. It's getting there, right? And so hold on, I can't finish this tutorial. Let's see. Maybe I have to limit it to 3 for now. And now we can finish the tutorial. Cool. So that's basically it. This is like a brief tutorial of how to create like a specific design based off of a website that you like. For example, mine was the New York Times. I really like the newspaper look. And this was like a quick 1 hour thing, maybe even less after editing, but this is the potential that you have with Framer, right? Amazing designs with dynamic data like CMS. And eventually you can monetize this by using tools like Framer Auth and creating a digital products with this type of design, right? Like this person did. And creating a blog business, creating a digital product, selling some types of assets or templates, talking about a certain keyword. That there's so many possibilities as a designer or no-code developer to make business apart from just having your traditional clients. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a pleasure to make a video again. I love doing this. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me in my social media or join my Discord or go on my Patreon to see the behind the scenes of everything that I do. So have a wonderful day, guys.